everyone, it's Linda McKenna from Golden Rules Senior Placement Services coming to you with Tuesday Talks. Well, next week is Thanksgiving, and we really want to prepare for the holiday as we always do, but when we take into consideration our senior loved ones, it's a little bit more that we have to go for details and making sure that their holiday is not only enjoyed, but it is safe. May it be that you're visiting them at their home for the holidays, or that actually they're coming to visit you at your home for the holiday, or maybe you're going out to dine at a restaurant for Thanksgiving holiday, or maybe they are in senior living already and you're actually enjoying it with them. There's a lot of preparation when it comes to consider preparing for the holiday, as we all do, with shopping and cooking and getting the home ready for company. But we also want to keep into consideration of the things that there is challenges and the things that you can do to make it much more lighter. I'm going to refer to my notes so this way I could stay on track and be able to help you more with great ideas. For your parents or other older adults, age related issues can bring stress to the Thanksgiving festivities. You can't fix their health problems or bring back people who have passed on, but there are steps you can take to help them to enjoy their day. Here's how to help them with some common issues older people might face at Thanksgiving. The challenge. You don't know what your aging parent needs or wants. What you can do, ask them. Most older adults know their preferences and limitations. They might tell you that they prefer to attend dinner for an hour or two, or to sit next to a specific person at the table. Having this information allows you to help them make it happen. Asking them what they would like really sets the day really successful, because this way you can meet the challenge before it actually happens, so the decisions are made. The challenge. Traditions bring up painful reminders for your loved one. What can you do? Listen to them. Even if what they say to you is sad or negative, the holidays may highlight the losses that they have experienced in their lives, such as the death of a spouse, the death of other relatives or loved ones, deteriorating health, or changes in their environment. This is a time that, we do a lot of reflection during the holidays and what we're thankful for and what our challenges are, no matter what age we are. And having this conversation really helps you really to predict what or plan for the future. So having this conversation about traditions and what their expectations and what their painful reminders are is really something that's going to be great for you for planning, maybe for senior living in the very near future. The challenge, a full-on all-day family celebration is just too much. What can you do? What When our loved ones aren't up to a full Thanksgiving, it's important to adjust our expectations to help them enjoy the holiday season within their current limitations. Consider just doing dessert and go into their space if that's feasible. Scale back expectations to make their holiday pleasant and successful for everyone. As the question that was or statement that was prior, sometimes a long day is really too cumbersome. Don't forget they're very set in their ways, so they might have dinner and then they take a nap when they're at home. So having something on a smaller scale for them to enjoy, maybe having the dinner and then afterwards maybe bring them home so they can rest. Maybe it's just too much noise, too much activity, something they're not used to. So have that discussion. So if you already plan for that ahead of time, you won't fall into a stressful moment or something that's going to make them very overwhelmed, for sure. The challenge. Your aging loved one feels overwhelmed by the crowd and activity, just as I was saying. What can you do? Help them find a comfortable place to sit that's a bit out of the way. Such as spots are good for one-on-one conversations, which are easier for older adults to track and enjoy. Check in periodically to make sure that they are comfortable. Sometimes, maybe the guest room, or, maybe there's a TV in the guest room, or that they could lay down a little bit, really would make it enjoyable. Like I said before, maybe when there's too much activity, too much noise, it's a lot, it's very, very overwhelming. So take that into consideration. Your challenge, your loved one feels unneeded. What can you do? Involve them in the celebration in a meaningful ways. They may remember the years of hosting Thanksgiving and now feel sidelined. If they can't prep vegetables sitting down, bring a cutting board and knife to the table. If you have young children, get them involved. They will benefit both generations. They can do a craft together or bond over preparing part of the meal and ease some of the work on you. And at some point during the day, you can make the senior the center of a discussion by asking questions and having them share their experience of past Thanksgivings celebrations. Even help setting the table, folding napkins, something that maybe they can sit and do. Preparing the salad is something really enjoyable for them to do. They feel like they have wealth and they are purposeful. So if you include them, or great time that the youngsters can sit with grandma and grandpa and have a conversation with them and talking about the past, both are benefiting by it and enjoying the festivity of the day of communication too. The challenge, your parent struggles to hear, especially in noisy conditions. What can you do? You probably can't keep a house full of people quiet, especially myself being Italian. Instead, take your parent or grandparents in a quiet room and ask family to visit them individually so they get the most from the conversation. Make sure face to face when they are speaking. Make accommodations during dinner, strategically sitting aging family members at the end of the table next to one or two family members who will be intentional about including them in conversation can often be the best way to ensure that they are included. And take a day off from nagging. Ask them to get their hearing tested or ask if their hearing aids are in. Can wait for another day. Sitting at the end of the table is a great thing as well too. Maybe, not only for the conversation, maybe they need help cutting their meats, their vegetables, making sure that they are tended to, that they have enough beverage, making sure they're taking part of drinking their beverage during the meal. Or maybe they have to remove themselves quickly because they have to go to the restroom. So strategically putting them at a real convenient location that is next to another loved one that could really care over them and also be in much more conversation. I mean, the best time during the holidays is all about conversation and really enjoying over breaking bread. The challenge, your relative doesn't see well. What can you do? Keep rooms well lit. Remind guests to provide audio cues when they are approaching, such as Grandma, it's Jonathan. So great to see you. You can also have someone sit beside the person and help narrate what they can't see. Great idea. Also for walkways, which is really important too, scatter rugs, going into the restroom, make sure that it's well lit, something that they can maneuver, maybe a walker in, maybe instead of the small half bath on the first floor of your house, maybe using the master bedroom would be much more advantageous for them. The challenge, your aging parent forgets things and repeats themselves. What can you do? Be patient. It brings back memories when I was a little girl, and my grandmother would repeat herself, of course, and I would say, Nana, you told me that story, and she was funny about it. Not that she was embarrassed, but she was a strong woman, so you know what she used to tell me? So you hear it again. Nothing could be greater than actually hearing conversations, even if it's the third, fifth, or seventh, 10th time that you have heard it. You are blessed with their presence and hearing the story that one day will go away because they won't be here with us. So take that into consideration. Be patient. The challenge, your relative gets tired easily. What can you do? Build in time, like we were talking about before, maybe after dinner, taking a nap, or grazing through instead of grazing through dinner. You know, my husband always says, you know, when an Italian dinner, you're sitting there for 5 hours with no break. It's one, you know, one thing after the other. Take that into consideration. That might be very overwhelming sitting in a dining room chair for that long length of time. So maybe taking breaks in between courses would be really, really advantageous. Taking a little siesta for them would be advantageous. But making sure that they are feeling comfortable and cozy. Maybe it's something that they are in a seat that is got a breeze by the air conditioning, or it is not too warm because they're in a drafty situation. So make sure this is all strategically thought out, because they do tire easy, they get cold, and they get hot real easy. So make sure that you know that's already planned out. Your relative is prone to falls. What can you do? Well, when hosting Thanksgiving dinner, take this all into consideration. We talk about lighting. I did speak about, you know, throw rugs. Make sure that there's not much clutter for them to be able to navigate on their own. They want to be as independent as they can. So make it comfortable for them, but also to make sure that it is safe. So bright lit rooms are going to be very, very important for them. The challenge, your parent becomes agitated. What can you do? Again, stay calm, be patient. Avoid overstimulation. When there is too much activity, they're going to be agitated as well too, because remember, they might be coming from a very quiet environment. They're living alone, or just the two of them are living together, and all this activity could really get somebody anxious. Is something that they're not used to. So again, you know, the children might be running around playing music. So find a little area that's cozy, like we had mentioned before, that is beneficial for them. The challenge, you're worried about your parents driving to and from your event. What can you do? Thanksgiving is stressful enough. Driving is stressful enough. So let's make sure that during the holiday season, when the roads are really congested, and there's a lot of traffic, and it gets dark early now because of time change, maybe you consider driving them back and forth. That might be really great. Might be one of your grandchildren that are their grandchildren that's going to, you know, pick them up and bring them back home. Ranging for transportation might be something that you can do as well too. But this way you have no extra worry. There is no rushing, and you don't know the conditions of the road. Here in Florida, we don't have, you know, inclement weather, that being snow, ice. Can't imagine, you know, in the northern or mid, you know, west, that, you know, there's icy patches that, you know, a driver that is elderly might not recognize. So take that all into consideration, and to make it feel a little bit easier on them, so that they can enjoy their day. The most important part of this holiday is to celebrate and what you are thankful for. One Thanksgiving, we did this with our family. We had a little card on each of our plates before we started dinner, and we said our prayers. What we went around the table and said, what are we thankful for this year? Hearing that, their elders hearing that from their youngster brings them joy. So make it joyful, make it safe, make it memorable. That's what it's all about, our holidays. I hope you have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. And from Linda, from Golden Rule Senior Placement Services, there's no time than now. We just celebrated our 5th year in business. And I want to say, we are very thankful to serve our clients and their families. And it's a privilege and an honor to do so. Thank you for those who sent referrals our way, and that we were able to put or place seniors in a safe environment and enjoying a better quality of life. Thank you for that honor. Well, happy Thanksgiving, and I will be seeing you soon, and we'll be discussing the holidays that come next. Thank you again. And as always, go to my website. If you have a question, there is my demographics there, which is www.goldenruleseniorplacement.com. Besides the demographics, there's also testimonials, various options. There is resources, these video talks, and links to our social media. I'm looking forward to communicating with you and spending the holiday season with you. Thank you. Bye-bye now. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.